Okay. Thank you, Ken. So, City Council matters. New business. Council consideration of adopting a citizen portal to provide residents with a more direct and engaging means of communicating with their government while streamlining and optimizing the delivery of government services. Requested by Vice Mayor Dingle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not sure if it was you or Councilmember Carroll, or it might have been the city manager, once said that the city of Vero Beach practices the Florida formula, and I think we know what that formula is now, having a very low millage rate, a lean budget, but yet we have a citizen base that expects, they have very high standards with our maintenance, with our quality of life, with the care around the city. So how do you bridge the gap between the two? And I believe, there are no easy answers, but there are simple answers. And I believe that form is through technology. And I don't mean by replacing people with AI. I mean equipping staff with this tool, which over time technology has advanced so much. If you utilize it correctly, it could become a real weapon. So this is a little bit out of my expertise. I can give you, explain the mechanics behind the golf swing, but I have tech.
Oh, good. I need that.
I have tech support here that can go. They put together a little demo presentation and can really go in detail of what I'm suggesting. So please, I'll give you guys the floor.
Sure.
Jürgen, we all know Jürgen, and Mark, if you could introduce yourself, if you're going to get up
Good
here.
morning. Thank you. I'm honored to be here again. It's been a little while. And so I'm here to introduce Mark here from the Silverlogic. And they are my partners for anything as in software development, AI development for things like we're talking about today. As you know, I've been a resident of Vero Beach since high school, and I care deeply about this town. And I think something like this that we're proposing can really make things easier. We just listened to a whole bunch of things like that. We're talking about speeding, saying, hey, we need to cut these bushes back. We need to repair these street lights. This is all things that could be addressed with a system we're proposing. So I will let Mark have the microphone because I talk all the time like my wife tells me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to present. I am not an official resident of Vero Beach. My grandparents, though, and actually great-grandparents, have been down in Vero for many, many years. So I know about the St. Helens speed bump or speeding. That's a real thing. The Silverlogic has been building custom enterprise-grade applications for the last 13 years, just so you know a tiny bit about our credentials, both private and public entities. The application as proposed has three components. We always look at who are the consumers of a given application and how can we optimize their interaction while provide fiscal value as well for the originators of the application. In this case, consumers being the residents and originators being the city. The first aspect of this is an incredibly simple and streamlined application which allows residents to tell the city what they need to let them know. When you get started, you have the ability to classify what it is that you are concerned about, if there is a direct problem, if it's a compliment, a question, or a specific request. Once you give it a title, and a description, you have the ability to send it directly into the city. We'll provide residents with tracking numbers so that the city's not just pushing the reach outs one step down the way, and residents will be able to track a request on a regular basis. If you do want to track a ticket, we'll be pushing forward what stages this is on and can begin to track it. The reason why we have categories of complaints is because it allows data objects which we can augment our city staff members with either standard automations, or down the road, we can use AI classification. You could even do something as sophisticated as taking the knowledge base of your different standards and map up descriptions of complaints to give most likely routings. If someone takes a picture of a sign and says, hey, I think that this is out of compliance, pretty darn likely that you can then ensure that the standards are embedded into a knowledge base where you can route them. Behind the scenes, reviewers within the cities will have access to an inbox where they have the ability to review tickets, review the subjects, categories, locations, and the submission dates, as well as check on the different assignments. Once they go into it, they'll be able to see the residents' comments as well as the images in there. They'll be able to adjust the priority of something, and ideally, we will have the ability to route it to an individual department. Even if we don't want to go as sophisticated as bringing every city department onto this, it's very simple to provide contact email addresses that'll be able to automated send the ticket out so that management of this platform becomes extremely easy and does not become a burden. Once you save an update, the resident can be notified via email of the progress of their ticket. Behind the scenes, our goal is, of course, that you guys have visibility into what the system is doing. This is a very simple dashboard that can be built out as we continue to explore what the ideal use case of this is. But our suggested first starting point is the comment by category, what department routes are going on, and what are the comments received. We like to have a specific theme behind every application, and a trend that we're seeing in municipalities right now is that as younger and younger residents and also the business community are trying to be attracted by city, responsiveness and the ability to check in on something live is something that many younger residents are currently asking for. So we want to give you guys visibility on what was resolved, how quickly was it acknowledged, and what was the proof of that responsiveness. Additionally, we feel pretty strongly that in identifying certain trends, Taylor, Jürgen, and I had a brief conversation yesterday where we posited that even having the city allow residents to submit here versus potentially reaching out to multiple other departments can have significant cost savings. Deploying law enforcement or other emergency services is the hope as well of this application. And with that, I will conclude the brief demo and let you guys ask any questions you need to.
So I have a couple questions.
Yep.
So it says anonymous by default, but if somebody submits an anonymous code enforcement complaint, aren't we're required to get the
by state
contact
law.
info by state law. So I don't see how we could, like, some things could be anonymous because it's not a code enforcement complaint, but code enforcement complaints can't be anonymous and people don't know that. So there would have to be a way to
Yeah, and
I was shown this yesterday, and
I love it.
I picked up on that, and
Yeah.
I informed them, not only with that, with code enforcement, but most likely some of this would be public record, so they would have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it.
So I didn't make any changes or recommendations yesterday because I didn't want him to make changes. Then
Right.
you may have input as well. So yeah, that's noted.
It could be customizable, I'm
Yes.
sure. And that it would have to be somebody's job to, like,
Would have.
I mean, this is somebody's job.
Yeah, and it's timing is good from the standpoint of having this being considered. So seeing what you are considering now, because budget season is around the corner.
Correct.
We have had discussions of having a communications department of one sort of another, which this probably could fall under, because I doubt if we're going to make every department manager responsible for someone's got to coordinate it.
correct.
Yeah, someone would have to
Yeah.
read
Have
these.
No technology platform. can
Jürgen
kind of live.
knows we don't have a communications department. Okay,
Right.
so we don't have that. We've opined about the fact that we should have one, but we don't have one. it's a great, from interfacing with the citizens, it's a great idea. But as I mentioned, the timing's good because budget season's around. I could ask Vice Mayor if he wants to work with you guys to try to figure out what something like this would cost and what would entail from a personnel standpoint, and have a discussion at budget time.
I'm assuming there would be a monthly
budget's
fee,
right
right?
around it's right around, literally right around the corner.
Yep.
Actually starts tomorrow.
Actually starts tomorrow.
Well,
you
there,
go.
there we go.
Can't get any closer than that.
That's why I rushed to get it on this
Yeah,
agenda.
no, that's fine. That's great.
So,
love
Mr.
it.
Mayor, if I could add, if Vice Mayor Dingle is going to be council's appointment to take our look at this, is that we sit down with the appropriate staff members, with Mark and Jürgen, and go over this. I know Matt Mitz has some things that are already available, and maybe it's something that we could incorporate into that. But I like to have those discussions a little closer to the staff so that we can see what we have and see what they're proposing and have our input as well.
And I think that's a great idea. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it'll consolidate the effort on our part, having Vice Mayor coordinate it with staff, and budgets, again, I'm redundant, but budget season's right around the corner. Put it into the budget, as you know, based on what's happening in Tallahassee, funds are gonna be, just say it's gonna make it a different year this year. So, but it's something we should look at, because I think we all believe from the dais, at least, hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn here, that's communications with the public is important. It's one of our Achilles heels here at the city, and anything that improves that is something we should look at.
Yep, absolutely. And that plan maps well with our process whenever we build. Our goal is to, it's great to have an initial overview. We like to put something physical in place because it gets the wheels turning. But then the next step is always we want to have, direct feedback from our different levels of users before we put a plan in place to say, this is what a good starting point is. Here's what budget is. Here's what timeline is. And then obviously that's something we owe back to you guys.
Great.
Mr. Falls,
Yes.
since this would be a system that could possibly last, for years, wouldn't we be forced to go out to bid on something like this, like we have in the past on all the other systems that we've purchased and tied in?
My suggestion would be that we have this discussion so we learn what we're talking about,
Right.
and then see kind of what scale of number we're looking at, but probably would require an RFP.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. It is what it is.
No, this is completely expected. This is why we like to give this initial presentation.
All right.
Mark, I want to thank you and Jürgen for being here this morning and
Absolutely.
for doing the presentation. You know where I stand. I believe this is the future
I love it.
for local and county governments. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor.
Is this something that you've done in other municipalities? That already exists?
We've done similar voice of the consumer style applications. Nothing in this exact iteration as a custom dev shop. Pretty much everything we build is customized. But the other thing that I'm more than happy to do is provide examples of stuff we've built over the years. Yeah, happy to.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Mark, Jürgen?
Jürgen, man, thank you so much for the presentation. Vice Mayor, anything else?
No.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. All right. We have no old business.